Trevor, please escort this gentleman off the premises. We can't have unauthorized individuals disrupting our Platinum members' experience. Patricia Whitman's voice cuts through the marble lobby of Premier First National Bank like ice. Her manicured finger points at Damon Richardson, a black man in an impeccable navy suit, as if he were a piece of litter someone forgot to remove. Security guard. Trevor's hand moves to his radio. The 22-year-old bank teller, Keisha, holds her phone steady, live streaming her lunch break. 47 viewers watch the drama unfold in real time. Patricia steps between Damon and the elevator, her blonde bob catching the afternoon light streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. "That briefcase needs to be searched for weapons," she announces loudly enough for every customer to hear. Damon checks his Rolex. 2:47 p.m. 13 minutes until the board meeting. Have you ever been treated like a criminal simply for existing where you belonged? The systematic degradation begins immediately. Patricia raises her voice another octave, ensuring every customer in the lobby becomes a witness to her performance. "Sir, several customers have reported feeling threatened by your presence." A lie, but effective. Mrs. Lane, an elderly woman in pearls, clutches her purse tighter. The college student near the ATM looks up from his phone. A mother pulls her daughter closer. "Ma'am, I'm here for a 3 p.m. appointment," Damon says, his voice steady as morning coffee. "What appointment?" Patricia's laugh sounds like breaking glass. "With whom exactly?" "The board of directors." The words hang in the air like smoke. Patricia's eyes narrow into slits. "The board doesn't meet with people like you." Keisha's live stream explodes. Viewer count jumps to 156. Comments flood the screen faster than she can read them. "Y'all hearing this? This is straight-up racism. What bank is this? Someone call the news." Patricia activates her staff like a general deploying troops. She whispers to Teller Madison Williams, loud enough for Damon to hear, "Call downtown. Ask about suspicious activity reports matching his description." Madison's fingers hesitate over the phone. "Ma'am, he hasn't done anything." "Madison." Patricia's voice could freeze hell. "Are you questioning my judgment?" The young teller dials. Assistant manager Robert Lane emerges from his office, drawn by the commotion. His face shows confusion, then concern as he surveys the scene. "Patricia, what's the situation here?" "Robert, we have a potential security threat. This individual is refusing to state his legitimate business and has been making customers uncomfortable." Another lie. But Robert's trained to trust his supervisor. Damon's phone buzzes. A text message. "Board meeting in 8 minutes. Quarterly presentation loaded and ready, sir." He glances at the screen. Patricia catches the movement. "Sir, please keep your hands visible. For everyone's safety." The absurdity would be comical if it weren't so vicious. Damon slowly raises both hands, still holding his phone. The screen shows another message. Shareholders asking about delayed start time. Patricia spots his phone case, distinctive gold medal with a corporate logo. Her eyes scan it dismissively. "Nice fake phone. They're getting realistic these days." Loan officer Brad Peterson joins the growing audience, whispering to assistant Jennifer Walsh. "Should we lock down the cash drawers?" "I'm texting my husband to pick me up early," Jennifer replies, her voice carrying across the marble floor. The whisper network spreads like wildfire. Each staff member adds another layer to the narrative Patricia's constructing. Damon isn't just unwanted. He's dangerous. Keisha adjusts her phone angle, capturing the entire lobby. Her viewer count hits 247. Someone in the comments has identified the bank's location. Others are sharing the stream link across social media platforms. Mrs. Lane starts recording with her own phone. "This is disgusting," she mutters, but continues filming. College student Jamal Washington opens Twitter, begins typing. "Witnessing blatant discrimination at Premier First National Bank, downtown Chicago. Black man in business suit being harassed by white manager." This is 2024. Thread incoming. Hashtag banking while black. His first tweet goes live. Location tagged. Photo attached. Meanwhile, Damon's briefcase sits on the marble counter where he set it moments ago. The combination lock catches light from the chandelier above. Embossed letters read, DR, with a small corporate seal beneath. Patricia notices the briefcase again. Sir, that needs to be opened and searched. Bank policy. Actually, it doesn't. Damon's voice remains calm, but something in his tone makes Robert step forward. Patricia, maybe we should... Robert. Her interruption is sharp as a blade. This is exactly the kind of weak thinking that makes us vulnerable. Protocol exists for a reason. Trevor finally speaks into his radio. Should I call for backup, Ms. Whitman? Not yet, but stay ready. Damon checks his watch again. 2:52 p.m., 8 minutes. His phone buzzes with another message. Sir, board members are arriving. Should we delay the start? Patricia sees him looking at the phone again. Sir, you have 30 seconds to state your legitimate business or leave these premises. I've already told you. I have a 3 p.m. appointment with the board. The board? Patricia's laugh echoes off the vaulted ceiling. Sir, the board doesn't meet with people who can't even afford proper identification. She's fishing now, hoping to force him into producing ID she can then question or dismiss. Damon reaches slowly into his jacket. Patricia tenses. Trevor's hand moves to his radio. Instead of a wallet, Damon produces a platinum card. Not credit. Something else. A key card with magnetic strip and corporate logo. Patricia glances at it dismissively. Fake corporate ID. We see these all the time. But Robert squints at the card. Something about the logo looks familiar. Keisha's stream hits 312 viewers. Someone in the comments recognizes the building exterior from Jamal's Twitter photos. Local blogger Sandra Martinez receives an anonymous tip about discrimination incident at Premier First National. Sandra's already in her car, racing toward downtown. The digital wildfire spreads beyond Chicago. Banking while black begins trending in Detroit, Atlanta, New York. Black stories like this resonate across communities who've lived similar experiences. Real-life stories of discrimination shared in comment threads. Touching stories of humiliation and resilience. Life stories that sound all too familiar. Damon's phone shows 2:53 p.m. 7 minutes until the most important board meeting of the quarter. He looks directly at Patricia. Ms. Whitman, I strongly suggest you reconsider your approach. Are you threatening me? I'm giving you information. Trevor steps closer. Ma'am, should I escort him out now? Patricia surveys her domain. Customers watching, staff assembled, digital witnesses recording. She performed perfectly for her audience. Sir, this is your final warning. Leave immediately, or we press charges for trespassing, disturbing the peace, and intimidation. Damon nods slowly. I understand your position completely. He reaches for his briefcase. And now you're going to understand mine. The arrival of Regional Manager Bill Crawford changes everything. Crawford bursts through the executive elevator at 2:54 p.m., his face red from rushing. 55 years old, sweating despite the air conditioning, he surveys the scene with the confidence of a man who's never been wrong about anything. Patricia, what's the situation? His voice booms across the lobby like a judge calling the court to order. Bill, thank God you're here. We have an individual refusing to leave the premises. He's been making threats and disturbing our customers. Crawford doesn't ask Damon for his side, doesn't request details, don't investigate. He simply looks at Damon and makes his judgment. Sir, I'm Regional Manager Crawford. You need to leave immediately. I'm here for a 3 p.m. board meeting, Damon repeats, his voice still calm. Crawford's laugh is uglier than Patricia's. Board meeting? Sir, the board doesn't meet with people who don't have proper appointments through appropriate channels. The pause says everything. The unfinished thought hangs in the air like poison gas. Keisha's live stream hits 589 viewers. Her hands shake slightly as she holds the phone. Comments pour in faster than rain. Record everything! This is insane! Sue them all! What's wrong with these people? Jamal's Twitter thread explodes. His first post has 347 retweets in 4 minutes. Banking while black is trending in 7 cities. He added another tweet with a photo. Regional manager just arrived, making it worse. This is what institutional racism looks like. Sandra Martinez pulls into the parking lot, already live streaming from her car. I'm outside Premier First National where we're getting reports of a discrimination incident. Going inside now. Her Facebook live stream auto-shares to her 5,200 followers. Back in the lobby, Crawford escalates the situation beyond Patricia's wildest dreams. Sir, we've had problems with this demographic before. People who think they can intimidate their way into getting what they want. The words hit like a physical blow. Every person in the lobby goes silent. Mrs. Lane gasps audibly. Jamal stops typing mid-sentence. Even Trevor looks uncomfortable. But Crawford isn't finished. Corporate has a zero-tolerance policy for intimidation. We don't negotiate with people who use aggressive tactics. Damon hasn't raised his voice once, hasn't made a single aggressive gesture, has answered every question politely and directly. But in Crawford's narrative, simply existing while black in this space constitutes aggression. Patricia seizes the moment. Everyone, please move to the far side of the lobby for your safety. The systematic isolation begins. Velvet rope barriers appear from storage. Staff members create a physical barrier between Damon and other customers. Children are ushered away from the dangerous man. Madison Williams whispers to Brad Peterson, "This feels wrong." "Just follow Patricia's lead," Brad responds, but his voice lacks conviction. Jennifer Walsh texts her husband, "Something terrible is happening at work. Please come get me." The staff huddle grows larger. Whispered conversations create a constant background hum. Eyes dart between Damon and the managers. Some staff members look uncomfortable, but none speak up. Keisha watches in horror as her own workplace transforms into something unrecognizable. Her viewer count passed 800. Someone in the comments has called 3 local news stations. "This is Channel 7, a comment reads. "We're sending a crew. Keep recording." Sandra Martinez enters the lobby, immediately begins recording. Her Facebook live stream launches automatically. Another layer of witnesses. Another platform spreading the story. "I'm inside Premier First National," she says into her phone. "There's a black businessman being confronted by multiple bank employees. I see security, management, and staff all focused on one man in a business suit." Crawford announces to the entire lobby, "Ladies and gentlemen, the situation is under control. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by this individual's behavior." He's framing Damon as the problem, making customers feel like they've been rescued from danger. An elderly man near the teller windows shakes his head in disgust. "That's not right," he mutters to his wife. But most customers simply watch, uncertain what to believe. Damon's phone buzzes. 2:56 p.m., 4 minutes until the board meeting. Text message. "Sir, shall we begin without you? Board members are getting concerned about the delay." Another message. "Quarterly reports distributed. Shareholders expressing concern about start time." Patricia catches him checking the time again. "Sir, put the phone down. Keep your hands where we can see them." The absurdity reaches new heights. A black businessman checking his watch is now considered threatening behavior. Crawford doubles down on the legal threats. "Sir, I'm documenting this interaction for our attorneys. Trespassing is a serious charge in Illinois. Disturbing the peace carries significant penalties. And frankly, your behavior could be construed as intimidation of our staff and customers." He delivers each accusation with prosecutorial certainty. Under Illinois Criminal Code 720 ILCS 5213, criminal trespass to real property is a Class A misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail. The legal intimidation is designed to terrify. But Damon's expression doesn't change. Each accusation is a lie, but Crawford delivers them with the authority of absolute certainty. Robert Brooks finally finds his voice. "Bill, maybe we should just verify his appointment." "Robert, step back. This is a regional-level situation now. I'm handling this according to corporate protocol." Crawford pulls out his own phone, begins recording Damon. "Sir, for legal purposes, I'm documenting your refusal to comply with lawful orders to leave private property." But Sandra Martinez is recording Crawford. Keisha is recording both of them. Jamal is photographing the entire scene. Mrs. Lane has her phone trained on Patricia. The bank's own security cameras capture everything. The power of documentation flows in multiple directions. Damon's phone shows another message. "Emergency board protocol activated. Shareholders have been notified of indefinite delay." "Sir, is everything all right?" He types back quickly. "Slight delay. Begin without me if necessary." Crawford sees the typing. "Sir, cease all communication immediately. Put the device down." The man is treating text messaging like a criminal act. Patricia adds her voice. "Sir, we have reason to believe you may be coordinating with accomplices outside the building." Accomplices. Because a black man checking his phone must be planning something sinister. The spiral of paranoid assumptions accelerates. "Sir, that's your final warning," Crawford announces loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Leave now or we're calling police and pressing full charges for criminal trespass, disturbing the peace, and conspiracy to commit intimidation." Conspiracy. The word hangs in the air like smoke from a fire. The threat is delivered with casual brutality. No investigation. No attempt at de-escalation. Just the immediate assumption that calling police on a black man is the appropriate response to him existing in their space. Keisha's stream reaches 1,200 viewers. Hashtag banking. While Black hits 15,000 mentions across platforms. 3 local news stations dispatch crews. The story spreads beyond social media into mainstream news cycles. Sandra Martinez speaks into her phone. "I'm witnessing what appears to be clear racial discrimination at Premier First National Bank. A black businessman is being threatened with arrest for... Honestly, I can't see what he's done wrong." Comments on her stream echo the sentiment. "This is 2024. Sue them all. I'm closing my account. Where are the police? Oh wait, they're threatening to call them on the victim." Damon sets his briefcase on the counter with deliberate care. The combination lock clicks as he adjusts the settings. "Gentlemen, I appreciate your position," he says quietly. Crawford steps closer. "Sir, step away from that briefcase. Do not open it." "Actually," Damon says, his voice carrying a new quality, something that makes Patricia's confidence waver for the first time, "I think you need to see what's inside." Trevor speaks into his radio. "Need backup at Premier First National. Situation potentially escalating." But something has changed in Damon's posture. Some subtle shift that makes Robert Brooks step backward. That causes Crawford's aggressive stance to falter slightly. Patricia feels it too, a sudden uncertainty creeping into her absolute conviction. Something about the way Damon handles the briefcase. They practiced familiarity, the complete lack of nervousness. Damon's fingers move to the briefcase locks. Click, click, click. "Ms. Whitman, Mr. Crawford," he says, his voice now carrying unmistakable authority. "You've made some very interesting assumptions about who I am." The briefcase opens. "Let me show you exactly how wrong you've been." Patricia's face begins to drain of color as documents become visible. The briefcase opens like Pandora's box, revealing a world Patricia never imagined possible. Corporate letterhead catches the chandelier light. Official seals gleam on document headers. Her own name appears in quarterly performance reports. Chairman D. Richardson, Q4 board presentation spreads across the top document in 48-point font. Crawford squints at papers marked confidential, board eyes only. The lobby goes silent except for the hum of air conditioning and the quiet gasps from watching customers. Damon lifts the first document slowly, deliberately. Premier First National Bank, Executive Performance Review, Chicago Region. He sets it down where everyone can see the header. Patricia's mouth opens. No sound emerges. The second document, Branch Manager Evaluation Reports, Q3 2024. Patricia Whitman's name appears in bold under Priority Concerns. Crawford takes a step backward. The third document destroys any remaining doubt. Emergency Board Session, Discrimination Protocol Implementation. Today's date, today's time. Damon's signature at the bottom. But Damon isn't finished. He reaches into the briefcase and produces something that makes every staff member freeze. A tablet. Corporate issued, with the distinctive gold case reserved for executive leadership. He powers it on. The startup screen displays Premier First National Bank, Executive Portal. Below that, a photo and name, D. Richardson, Chairman of the Board. The words hit the lobby like a physical blow. Keisha's phone captures everything. 1,847 viewers watching history unfold in real time. Comments explode faster than her phone can display. Holy sh! He owns the bank! Patricia is done! This is the best plot twist ever! I'm screaming! Chairman said checkmate! Jamal's hands shake as he photographs the tablet screen. His tweet goes live. Plot twist of the century. This man they're harassing? He's the chairman of the board, the owner, the boss. Banking, while black. Justice served. Chairman revenge. Sandra Martinez zooms in with her phone, speaking rapidly. Folks, you're not going to believe this. The man being discriminated against is apparently the chairman of the board of this bank. This is unprecedented. This is justice in real time. Damon navigates through the tablet interface with practiced familiarity. Employee directory, financial reports, executive communications, every function Patricia has only heard whispered about in hushed corporate meetings. He opens a file labeled Branch Performance Analysis, Chicago Downtown. Patricia's face appears on screen. Her employee photo, performance ratings, customer complaint ratios, all visible to anyone watching the live streams. Current rating, 2.1 out of 5.0. Damon reads aloud, his voice calm as still water. Highest complaint ratio in the region. Customer satisfaction, critical concern level. Crawford's color matches Patricia's now, gray-green, like old newspapers. But Damon continues methodically destroying their world. Ms. Whitman, according to your performance file, you've had 47 discrimination complaints filed against you in the past 18 months. The number hangs in the air like a death sentence. 43 of those complaints were dismissed without investigation. His finger scrolls through the digital records. Interesting pattern. He taps the screen. Complaint details appear. Customer names, incident descriptions, Patricia's responses, or lack thereof. Here's one from March. Manager Patricia Whitman refused service to qualified customer, stating the customer didn't look like they belonged in the bank. Patricia's legs wobble. April complaint. Manager made customer wait 40 minutes for no stated reason while serving white customers who arrived later. Crawford grabs the counter for support. May. Manager questioned customer's identification multiple times despite clear verification, then required unnecessary additional documentation. The pattern is undeniable. Systematic. Institutional. Patricia finds her voice, barely a whisper. Sir, I had no idea. Chairman Richardson, Damon corrects quietly. And ignorance isn't a defense for what I've witnessed here today. Crawford attempts damage control. Chairman, sir, I had absolutely no idea you were... Bill! Damon's voice cuts through Crawford's panic like a scalpel. Stop talking. You're making it considerably worse. The live stream viewers are losing their minds. Keisha's count hits 2,300. Sandra's Facebook stream reaches 4,800 concurrent viewers. Hashtag banking, while Black trends nationally alongside hashtag Chairman Revenge and hashtag Banking Justice. Comments flood in from across the country. This is better than any movie. Justice in real time. Patricia is about to lose everything. Chairman said I am the manager. Black excellence in action. This man said plot twist. Mrs. Lane covers her mouth with both hands. Oh my goodness gracious, she whispers to no one in particular. Robert Brooks stares at the tablet screen in horror, recognizing the interface he's only seen in corporate training videos. Trevor drops his radio. The clatter echoes across the marble floor like a gunshot. Madison Williams starts crying, not from sadness, from the pure emotional overload of watching institutional power flip in real time. Jennifer Walsh texts furiously, You're not going to believe what's happening at work. The man Patricia was harassing, he's the chairman of the board. But Damon isn't finished with his methodical dismantling of their assumptions. He opens another application. Live security feed, all branches. The tablet displays multiple camera angles of their current conversation. Every word, every gesture. Every discriminatory statement is captured in high definition from 6 different angles. Interesting feature, Damon observes conversationally. I can access security footage from any branch at any time, for quality assurance purposes. He taps the screen. For instance, here's audio from your conversation with Ms. Williams at 2:49 p.m. Patricia's voice plays back from the tablet speakers, crystal clear. Call downtown. Ask about suspicious activity reports matching his description. Her own words condemn her. Crawford's voice follows. We've had problems with this demographic before. The digital evidence is undeniable. Damon saves the footage to multiple servers with a few taps. This will be quite useful for our upcoming diversity training sessions. Patricia wobbles on her feet. Crawford loosens his tie, breathing heavily. The psychological warfare continues with surgical precision. Damon opens his executive email. Messages from board members, shareholders, corporate executives, all addressed to Chairman Richardson. He shows them a message thread. D. Richardson has requested an emergency session to address systemic discrimination issues. Board members, please prepare for immediate implementation of Richardson Protocol. Richardson Protocol? Crawford whispers, his voice barely audible. Something I've been developing for situations exactly like this, Damon explains conversationally. A comprehensive system for addressing the kind of behavior I've witnessed today. He scrolls through implementation plans, staff retraining requirements, performance evaluation updates, legal compliance measures, termination procedures. It's quite thorough, he continues calmly. Mandatory bias training, real-time customer interaction monitoring, automatic complaint escalation, updated hiring practices, that sort of thing. Patricia watches her career evaporate in real time. But Damon has one more revelation that will shatter their worldview completely. He opens a financial dashboard showing branch performance metrics across the entire Chicago region. Ms. Whitman, your branch has lost $4.7 million in customer deposits over the past 18 months. The number appears on screen in stark red numerals. Customer retention in minority communities, 23%. Regional average, 67%. More damning statistics populate the display. Legal settlements paid out due to discrimination complaints from your branch specifically, $892,000. Crawford actually staggers backward. Staff turnover rate, 89%, industry standard, 12%. The numbers keep coming like bullets. Revenue declined year over year, 31%. Every other branch in the region, positive growth. Would you like to know why I'm here today? Damon asks, his voice carrying the quiet authority of absolute power. Patricia can only nod. The board requested a field assessment of our branch customer service standards. Specifically, they wanted to understand why our downtown Chicago location has the worst performance metrics in the company's 147-year history. He gestures around the lobby with understated elegance. I believe I have my answer. Keisha's viewer count passes 3,000. Sandra's stream hits 6,200. News van after news van arrives outside. Channel 7, Channel 5, Channel 32. The story explodes across social media platforms faster than wildfire. Touching stories pour into comment sections. Real-life stories of similar discrimination. Black stories shared by viewers who've experienced identical treatment. Life stories of humiliation transformed into hope as justice unfolds in real time. Now, Damon continues, his voice never rising above conversational level. We have some decisions to make. He checks his watch. 2:58 p.m. The board meeting starts in 2 minutes. They're expecting my comprehensive report on branch operations. Patricia and Crawford exchange horrified glances. I can deliver that report in one of 2 ways, Damon explains with the patience of a professor. Option 1. I describe today's events as an isolated incident requiring targeted corrective action. Hope flickers across Patricia's face like a dying candle. Option 2. I present today's events as evidence of systemic institutional racism requiring comprehensive restructuring, personnel changes, and potential criminal referrals. The hope dies completely. The choice, Damon says quietly, depends entirely on what happens in the next 60 seconds. He pulls out his phone, dials a number. Dr. Thompson? It's Damon. I'm ready for the board presentation. A pause. The lobby remains silent except for the whispered prayers Patricia doesn't realize she's saying. Yes, I have comprehensive documentation of the customer service standards we discussed. Another pause. Patricia and Crawford hang on every word like death row inmates awaiting verdict. I'll be right up. And Dr. Thompson, you might want to have legal and HR standing by. We'll need immediate implementation protocols. He ends the call. The elevator dings behind them. The doors open like the gates of judgment. Ms. Whitman, Mr. Crawford, Damon says, collecting his documents with unhurried precision. Shall we go upstairs? The board, he continues conversationally, is very interested in hearing about today's customer experience in detail. Patricia's legs can barely support her weight. Crawford's face resembles aged concrete. Trevor stares at his radio on the floor, afraid to pick it up. Oh, Damon adds, as if remembering something minor. You might want to bring a representative from your union, Trevor. What we discuss upstairs may significantly affect your employment status. The elevator doors stand open like the gates of justice. Shall we? Damon gestures politely toward the elevator. The man they tried to humiliate, intimidate, and arrest is now inviting them to their own execution. And they have no choice but to follow. The live streams capture everything as the most powerful reversal in corporate history unfolds one devastating revelation at a time. Justice, it turns out, doesn't always roar. Sometimes it speaks quietly and carries the biggest stick of all. As the elevator doors close, Keisha whispers to her 3,400 viewers, Y'all, I think we just witnessed something that's gonna change everything. She has no idea how right she is. Conference room 15A resembles a tribunal. The elevator opens directly into the executive boardroom. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook Chicago's skyline. A mahogany table stretches across the room like an aircraft carrier deck. 5 board members sit in judgment, laptops open, faces grim. Dr. Angela Thompson, Chief Diversity Officer, looks up from her tablet displaying the live stream footage. Her expression could cut glass. James Liu, Chief Legal Counsel, has multiple legal documents spread before him. He's been taking notes furiously. Sarah Hassan, VP Operations, studies branch performance reports. Red numbers dominate every page. Michael Torres, Chief Risk Officer, calculates financial exposure on his laptop. His face grows paler with each calculation. Rebecca Martinez, Chief HR Officer, holds termination paperwork already prepared. Patricia, Bill, Dr. Thompson's voice could freeze lava. Please sit. They stumble to chairs at the far end of the table. Patricia's hands shake. Crawford sweats through his shirt. Damon takes his position at the head of the table. Chairman's chair. His chair. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the emergency session. His voice carries absolute authority. I have some interesting findings to share about our downtown Chicago branch customer service standards. He connects his tablet to the wall-mounted display. The first image appears. Security footage of Patricia blocking the elevator. Audio plays her voice. We can't have unauthorized individuals disrupting our Platinum members' experience. The room goes silent. This footage was captured approximately 25 minutes ago, Damon continues calmly. Ms. Whitman, would you care to explain your customer service approach? Patricia's voice cracks. Sir, Chairman, I was following security protocols. What protocols? Dr. Thompson's question lands like a hammer blow. The customer didn't have an appointment. I had a 3 p.m. board meeting, Damon states. You were informed of this, multiple times. Lou leans forward. Patricia, did you verify the customer's appointment before taking action? He didn't look like... She stops herself, but the damage is done. Didn't look like what? Martinez demands. Silence. Damon advances to the next slide. Financial data fills the screen. Chicago Downtown Branch Performance, 18-month analysis. The numbers tell a story of systematic failure. Customer deposits lost, $4.7 million, discrimination complaints. 47 filed, 43 dismissed without investigation. Customer satisfaction rating, 2.1, 5.0, lowest in company history. Staff turnover, 89%. Industry average, 12%. Revenue decline, 31%, year over year. Legal settlements paid, $892,000. Torres whistles low. Jesus Christ. The financial exposure is catastrophic, Lou adds, consulting his notes. Under federal civil rights statutes, we're looking at potential damages of $15 to $50 million. Crawford finds his voice. Surely this is an isolated incident. Is it? Damon clicks to the next slide. Complaint documentation appears. Customer names redacted, but patterns clear. March 15th. Manager refused service. Stated customer didn't belong. March 22nd. Made to wait 40 minutes while white customers served immediately. April 3rd. Required excessive documentation not asked of other customers. April 18th. Manager questioned valid ID multiple times. May 2nd. Accused of potential fraud without basis. May 14th. Security called for suspicious behavior. Customer was making deposit. The list continues. 47 entries. A pattern of systematic discrimination. Bill, as regional manager, you received copies of every complaint, Damon notes. Your response to each was identical. Complaint dismissed. No evidence of wrongdoing. Crawford's face resembles wet concrete. Hassan says, You dismissed complaints without investigation? I trusted my branch manager's judgment. Your branch manager who just called security on the chairman of the board? The logic is inescapable. Martinez opens her folder. Patricia, your personnel file shows 12 previous discrimination complaints at your last position. You were transferred here instead of terminated. Who authorized that transfer? Dr. Thompson demands. Crawford raises his hand weakly. You moved a problem employee rather than address the problem, Torres observes. Brilliant risk management, Bill. Damon displays the next exhibit, social media metrics. #banking. While black, 47,000 mentions and climbing video views across platforms, 2.3 million news coverage, 17 outlets and counting customer account closure threats, 2,847 tagged comments. Our reputation damage is measurable in real time, he continues. Stock price has dropped 3.2% since the story broke 40 minutes ago. Liu's phone buzzes. He checks it, pales further. Legal just received our first class action notification. The customer is seeking lead plaintiff status for systematic discrimination. How many potential class members? Martinez asks. Based on our Chicago region demographics, approximately 15,000 customers. The number hangs in the air like a death sentence. Dr. Thompson addresses Patricia directly. In 30 years of HR work, I've never seen anything this blatant. Your behavior today wasn't just discriminatory. It was recorded and broadcast to millions of people. I was just doing my job. Your job, Damon interrupts, was to serve customers. All customers, regardless of race. He clicks to audio playback. Crawford's voice fills the room. We've had problems with this demographic before. Torres drops his pen. Bill, did you actually say that? I was trying to defuse the situation by escalating racial profiling. Hassan reviews the timeline. Both of you had multiple opportunities to de-escalate. Instead, you doubled down repeatedly. Liu consults federal statutes on his laptop. Under 42 U.S.C. Section 1981, this constitutes clear civil rights violations. The evidence is overwhelming. What's our legal exposure? Torres asks. Conservatively, $25 to $75 million in damages. Potentially more if we can't demonstrate immediate corrective action. Martinez places termination documents on the table. Patricia Whitman, your employment is terminated immediately for cause, gross misconduct, violation of company policy, and creating massive legal liability. Patricia starts crying. Please, I have a mortgage. Kids in college. You should have considered that before racially profiling our chairman, Dr. Thompson responds without sympathy. Bill Crawford, Martinez continues, you're terminated for failure to supervise, enabling discrimination, and violation of federal civil rights law. Crawford's voice breaks. 30 years with this company. 30 years of covering up discrimination, Hassan corrects. Your pension is forfeited under gross misconduct clauses. Damon presents the final slide. Richardson Protocol. Implementation Plan. Immediate actions. All staff bias training, 240 hours mandatory. Customer interaction monitoring system. Complaint. Investigation. Overhaul. Community Oversight Board, $2.5 million. Minority Business Loan Fund. Free banking services for underserved communities. Long-term changes. AI bias detection in customer interactions. Quarterly discrimination audits. Executive compensation tied to diversity metrics. Anonymous reporting system. Customer ombudsman position. This protocol becomes company-wide policy effective immediately, Damon announces. Board approval is required. All in favor? Dr. Thompson calls. 5 hands raise unanimously. Liu addresses the terminated employees. You have 24 hours to clean out your offices. Security will escort you out today. Legal counsel is strongly recommended. Torres calculates remediation costs. Total implementation, $12 million initially, $3 million annually ongoing. Cheaper than a $50 million lawsuit, Hassan observes. Martinez hands Patricia a box of tissues and termination paperwork. Sign these. Your health insurance ends at midnight. Dr. Thompson delivers the final blow. Patricia, your termination will be reported to banking industry oversight boards. You're effectively blacklisted from financial services management. Crawford receives identical notification. Their careers are over, not just at this bank, anywhere in the industry. Damon stands, signaling the meeting's end. Dr. Thompson will coordinate Richardson protocol implementation. I want quarterly progress reports. What about the media coverage? Hassan asks. We address it directly. Full transparency, immediate accountability, complete reform. Liu nods approvingly. Proactive response minimizes legal exposure and demonstrates genuine commitment to change, Martinez adds. Dr. Thompson escorts the terminated employees toward the elevator. Security will meet you downstairs. Your access cards are deactivated. As the elevator doors close on Patricia and Crawford, Damon addresses the remaining board members. Today was a stress test of our corporate values. We failed catastrophically. But we're correcting the course immediately, Hassan responds. The Richardson Protocol ensures this never happens again, Torres adds. Liu reviews legal timelines. With immediate reforms, we can minimize lawsuit damages significantly. Dr. Thompson returns from the elevator. They're gone. Security is handling their departure. The live stream is still active, Martinez observes, checking her phone. 4.2 million views and climbing. Good, Damon says simply. Let the world see how we handle accountability. Down in the lobby, Keisha continues streaming. The crowd has grown. News crews arrive. Protesters begin gathering outside. But upstairs, the work of justice continues. Systematic, methodical, permanent. The Richardson Protocol isn't just punishment, it's revolution. The transformation begins immediately. Within 6 hours, Premier First National's downtown Chicago branch becomes ground zero for corporate accountability. News vans line the street. Protesters carry signs reading, "Banking Justice Now," and "Richardson Protocol" everywhere. Patricia Whitman emerges from the building carrying a cardboard box. Her escort, 2 security guards, ensures she reaches her car without incident. Cameras capture her humiliation. Her banking career ends not with retirement, but with viral infamy. Crawford follows 20 minutes later. 30 years of employment reduced to personal items in a banker's box. His wife waits in their car, divorce papers already filed citing public embarrassment and financial liability. But the real story happens inside the branch. By 5 p.m., the Richardson Protocol launches with unprecedented speed. Dr. Angela Thompson arrives with a reform team. Bias training specialists, customer service experts, community liaison officers. The branch closes for 48 hours of emergency cultural transformation. Keisha's live stream becomes a documentary of institutional change. Her viewer count stabilizes at 5,200 people watching history unfold. Y'all, they're completely overhauling everything, she reports. New customer service protocols, bias detection software, complaint systems. This is a real change happening. The reform metrics are staggering. Week 1. Implementation. All 47 branch employees complete 40-hour bias. Sensitivity training. Customer interaction monitoring system installed. Anonymous complaint hotline activated with external oversight. Community Advisory Board established with rotating leadership. $500,000 minority business loan fund operational. Trevor Jackson receives the most surprising outcome. Instead of termination, he's offered a choice: resignation with severance or demotion with mandatory retraining. He chooses retraining. I was following orders, he explains to Dr. Thompson during his evaluation. But following wrong orders doesn't make them right. His salary drops 40%, but he keeps his job. More importantly, he keeps his chance for redemption. Robert Brooks receives promotion to interim branch manager. His first decision, establishing customer dignity protocols that treat every person entering the bank with respect, regardless of appearance, race, or perceived wealth. Madison Williams becomes customer experience coordinator. Her hesitation to follow Patricia's discriminatory orders is noted as principled resistance worthy of recognition. The social media response exceeds all projections. Banking. While Black evolves from protest hashtag to transformation tracker, Josh Richardson, protocol trends across 23 countries. Video views surpass 8.7 million across all platforms. Customer support messages, 47,000 and counting. More importantly, other institutions take notice. Wells Fargo announces bias training review. Chase Bank implements customer dignity protocols. Bank of America schedules discrimination audit. The Richardson Protocol becomes industry standard almost overnight. Local impact proves equally dramatic. Sandra Martinez wins Journalism Award for real-time discrimination coverage. Jamal Washington receives social media internship at Premier First National. Mrs. Lane accepts appointment to Community Advisory Board. Keisha's streaming career launches with 89,000 new followers. The financial results speak louder than intentions. Month 1. Post-implementation. Customer satisfaction. 4.8, 5.0. Highest in company history. New account openings. 340% increase in minority communities. Staff retention, 94%, industry leading. Discrimination complaints, 0 filed revenue growth, 23% month over month. The branch transforms from liability to flagship location. 3 months later, Patricia Whitman issued a court-mandated public apology. Her video, viewed 3.2 million times, became a case study in corporate accountability programs. I allowed personal bias to override professional duty, she reads from the prepared statement. My actions were indefensible and caused immeasurable harm. I accept full responsibility and commit to bias education to ensure this never happens again. Her banking license remains suspended. Her mortgage enters foreclosure. Her children transfer to community college. Consequences have consequences. Crawford faces federal investigation for civil rights violations. His pension, accumulated over 3 decades, vanishes under gross misconduct clauses. He works part-time at a hardware store. Justice isn't vengeful. It's proportional. But the real victory unfolds in systematic change. The Richardson Protocol expands company-wide. 847 branches implement bias detection systems. Customer satisfaction increases 34% across all locations. Discrimination complaints drop 89% system-wide. Minority business loans increase 340% nationally. Stock price recovers and reaches 5-year high. 6 months after the incident, Damon Richardson speaks at Harvard Business School. We don't defeat prejudice with anger or litigation. We defeat it with accountability, transparency, and unwavering commitment to human dignity. Today's actions create tomorrow's culture. The lecture hall erupts in standing ovation. The case study, Leadership Through Dignity, Strategic Response Creates Systemic Change, becomes required reading in business ethics courses worldwide. The Federal Reserve Chair cites Premier First National as industry best practice model. Congressional hearing features Richardson testimony on banking discrimination reform. The story that began with humiliation ends with transformation. Patricia Whitman lost her career. Bill Crawford lost his pension. Trevor Jackson lost his pride but found his conscience. But 15,000 Chicago customers gained dignity. 47 bank branches gained accountability. An entire industry gained awareness. The Richardson Protocol proves that strategic intelligence defeats ignorant aggression, that systematic change outlasts individual victories, that documented evidence creates undeniable accountability. Most importantly, it proves that dignified response inspires lasting transformation. The man they tried to destroy became the catalyst for reform that protects thousands of future customers from experiencing similar discrimination. Justice served quietly carries the biggest impact of all. Premier First National's downtown Chicago branch reopens with a new mission statement prominently displayed. Every customer deserves dignity, respect, and excellent service regardless of race, appearance, or perceived wealth. This is our promise. This is our protocol. This is our commitment to justice. Below it, a smaller plaque reads, "The Richardson Protocol, ensuring banking justice since 2024. The revolution succeeded not through destruction, but through reconstruction. And Damon Richardson's quiet power changed an industry forever. 1 year later, the ripple effects continue expanding. Damon Richardson graces the Forbes cover under the headline, "The Chairman Who Changed Banking Forever." Inside, a 12-page feature explores how strategic dignity defeated institutional racism. Harvard Business Review publishes their most read case study in 5 years. The Richardson Protocol, how one leader transformed corporate culture through accountability. The story has traveled far beyond Chicago's downtown streets. Premier First National's downtown branch has become a pilgrimage site for business students, civil rights activists, and corporate executives seeking to understand how systematic change happens. The metrics tell an extraordinary story. Branch performance, 12 months later. Customer retention, 97%, national banking record. Employee satisfaction, 96%, industry benchmark. Community trust rating, 4.9, 5.0. Revenue growth, 73%. Year-over-year discrimination complaints filed, 0 national impact. Statistics, 127 banks implement. Richardson Protocol variations. Federal legislation proposed based on this case. 34 universities include the incident in required curricula. Corporate training programs cite this as primary example. The social media legacy proves equally powerful. Original video views, 47.3 million across all platforms. Documentary features, 23 produced internationally, hashed banking, while Black transformed into hashtag banking justice movement. Academic papers analyzing the incident, 89 published. Patricia Whitman now works part-time retail. Her banking career permanently ended. She volunteers weekends at bias awareness workshops, her story serving as cautionary tale for others. Crawford manages a small insurance office in suburban Wisconsin. His 30-year banking pension remains forfeited, a permanent reminder that discrimination costs more than careers. But the real legacy lives in transformed lives. Keisha Washington, promoted surname after marriage, runs social media strategy for 3 Fortune 500 companies. Her live stream that day launched a career in corporate accountability journalism. Jamal Martinez serves as Premier First National's Director of Community Engagement, ensuring stories like this never repeat. Mrs. Lane chairs the Community Advisory Board, her wisdom guiding policy that affects 47 branch locations. Trevor Jackson completed anger management and bias training. He now trains security personnel in de-escalation techniques across the banking industry. Sandra Rodriguez won the Pulitzer Prize for investigative journalism documenting systematic discrimination in financial services. The story proves that individual courage creates collective change. That documented truth defeats institutionalized lies. That strategic response generates systematic transformation. More importantly, it demonstrates how Black voices, when heard and amplified, create justice that benefits everyone. These are the real-life stories that matter. These are the touching stories of transformation. These are the Black stories that change industries and inspire generations. This is proof that life stories of dignity and strategic intelligence triumph over ignorance and prejudice. Your voice matters. Your story counts. Have you witnessed discrimination in banking, retail, or any service industry? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story adds to the movement demanding accountability. Want to see more corporate justice stories? Subscribe to Black Voices Uncut for weekly videos of strategic victories over systematic prejudice. Believe in dignity over revenge? Hit the notification bell. We upload new transformation stories every Tuesday and Friday featuring real people creating real change. Your engagement amplifies voices. Your shares create awareness. Your subscription builds community. Remember, the most powerful revolution happens not in the streets, but in the boardrooms where policies change forever. Like this video if you believe in strategic justice. Share if you support corporate accountability. Subscribe if you want to see more stories where quiet dignity defeats loud prejudice. Together, we ensure that discrimination has consequences and justice has a voice. Thank you for reading. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being part of the change.
At Black Voices Uncut, we don't polish away the pain or water down the message. We tell it like it is because the truth deserves nothing less. If today's story spoke to you, click like, join the conversation in the comments, and subscribe so you'll be here for the next Uncut Voice.